Yes, good evening. My name is Wallace Gator Bradley, and I'm the president of United in Peace, Inc. And as you know, I always start my show off with saying, "To God be the glory." And I want to let my viewing audience know and my listening audience know that this show was put together by none other than the chairman of United Peace, Inc. She's the producer, she's the director, and she's the only one that can tell me what to do now that my mother's no longer here. And none other than my wife. I've been with her 37 years, and she said if I don't put that plug in, I will not get fed.
Well, she's the first lady, right?
She's the first lady. uh, this show today is pretty much what I was sharing with the secretary, a pre-inaugural show, letting people know one of the most important things is that the Secretary of State, Jesse White, is the longest serving Secretary of State in Illinois, 200 years, right? And he just happened to be African American, happened to be black, but out of all the secretaries, he's the longest serving. Been 19 years, am I right?
Oh, 20 years.
20 years. So, y'all know who he is, I know who he is, but Secretary, could you tell him who you are and all that you do?
Okay, as was indicated, my name is Jesse White. I serve as the Illinois Secretary of State. I've held this position for the past 20 years. I was a state lawmaker for 16 years. The Cook County Recorder of Deeds running the second largest Recorder of Deeds office in the nation for a period of 6 years. And then 20 years in this office, 8 years as professional baseball in the club organization, 10 years in the military. I served 3 times as a paratrooper, guardsman, and reservist. Did 35 jumps while I was in the military. And then 33 years as a teacher, and 59 years as coach and founder of the Jesse White Tumbling Team, and yet I'm not 150 years of age. I run the largest Secretary of State office in the nation. I have 4,000 employees, a $396 million budget, 138 officers, 23 agencies, corporate filings and securities, keeping the seal, code of claims, driver's license, state IDs, head librarian for the state of Illinois with 5,000 libraries, and the list goes on. And we are so sophisticated in our delivery of services to the people that they no longer have to bring the duffel bag, sleeping bag, or the lunch pail. We get them in and out in a timely manner. And then if by chance you're 65 years of age, you can get a free state ID from the Secretary of State's office. And then if you are in line and you fall into the following categories: you're a senior citizen, you're pregnant, disabled, or you're a vet, we bring you to the head of the line. And so our mission is to provide those meaningful services to the people in a highly professional way and in a timely manner. I believe that when you take on a job, you should take on the responsibility that goes with it. And every day we work toward that end. And along with that, my mission as the Secretary of State is to help make the roads of Illinois the safest ever. And we're working in that direction as well.
You know, one of the things you always say about he that giveth can take it away.
Whenever I'm with the young people, and they say, "I just got my driver's license," I said, "Yes, you just remember, I'm the Secretary of State for the state of Illinois, which means that he who giveth can't take it away." I take over 750,000 driver's licenses a year, and some people I ask, "Why do you take away so many licenses from people who are citizens of this wonderful state of ours?" Well, there are rules and regulations that you must abide by, which means that when you go through the toll booths and you, by chance, don't pay the meter or don't pay your toll, then I'll get a letter or a call from Highway Authority, not the Highway Tollway Authority,
Right.
and they will say that you have been a bad person, that you have not paid your fair share. And then if by chance you don't get your car tested for emission, I'll get a call from EPA to suspend your license. And then if by chance you have parking tickets, the clerk for the state of Illinois will notify me to suspend your license. So these are just some of the reasons by which, and then there's one more.
Child support.
Deadbeat dads don't drive.
Right.
It's child support. which means that if you don't pay your child support, I'll get a note from the clerk to suspend your license. And so I'm at the end of the pole, so to speak. I have a responsibility as your Secretary of State, and every day we want to work toward that end. Discharge my duties in a manner by which you could be proud.
You know, Secretary, this election is really historical to me. And my sons and my daughters and my grandchildren was paying more attention to this election because they was realizing the importance of J.B. Pritzker winning the election. My son that was going to, I believe it was Eastern Illinois University,
Yes.
when the former governor didn't have a budget that affected him and the school, and so they understood. But one of the things that they admired was seeing you, and they know you being a servant to the people over all these years. And they realizing that you have won, what was it, 100 and...
On 2 occasions, I won 102 counties. And then this year, I received more votes than anyone in the history of the state.
Right, 3 million, that's what, yeah.
3 million,
Over 3 million votes, right.
3,100,000.
Right. Wow.
So I want to thank the voters because I believe that if you don't vote, you lose your grant rights. You cannot complain about anything in society. Don't ever miss out on an opportunity to get registered and make sure you come out and vote. I had the great pleasure of being a student at Alabama State University in Montgomery, Alabama. Dr. King was my minister. And in the dormitory where I lived, which was Dillard Hall, former Mayor Eugene Sawyer and I lived in the same dorm. But there were 3 individuals out of the 60 who could vote. Yours truly, Wellington Wilson, another gentleman from Cleveland, Ohio. And I thought it was a violation of all laws of human decency for you not to be able to cast a ballot on election day. I have a lot of friends who applaud, commend, and thank me and want to wish me well, but at the same time, they're not registered voters and did not come out and vote. Please, vote on every election.
You know, during the campaign, JB was making a lot of promises, but you know, the one promise out of all the promises, and I pray that he keep, is when he says he wants to be just as great a servant to the state of Illinois that you have been.
Yeah.
And he see you as his role model to become a great governor by providing services to the people.
Well, I believe that J.B. Pritzker is going to go down in history of being one of the best governors that we've ever had. And I've functioned under about 5 governors. And I think J.B. Pritzker is going to be the best of all of the governors who've ever served here in the state of Illinois.
Caller, I see you calling, and as you know, this is a opinionated show, and your opinion is honored and respected. So could you please state your name?
James.
Hey, James, how you doing, sir?
Okay, what I'm about to say. Now, Tony, okay, you know Ed Bird, right? When she got when Tony Pat went and got the money from him, everybody had a part of it to get the money back. When it comes to other people, when it comes to donation, they don't get their money back. And I think Tony Pat should not get that money back. Everybody had a part, and that just want her to get that money back to Ed Bird.
Well, you know, James, let me share this with you. Just based on that, as a matter of fact, she gave $116,000 back from the fundraiser that was had at Burke's house. She gave that back to the people that donated the money, because the majority of the people were her friends that came to that house. But the fact of the matter is this, like the secretary was saying, we can't get caught into rhetoric. The most important thing is to vote your interest. And if your interest is to try to make a city, a state, a county, a ward better, if you don't vote, like the secretary says, you lose your right to what they
To right.
To right.
Can't
Yes.
complain.
Can't complain.
See, here in Illinois, no, specifically here in Chicago, if you want to see a baseball, basketball, football, or soccer game, you buy a ticket.
Right.
If you want to take part in the political process, you get registered and you come out and vote.
Right.
If you don't vote, you lost
can't
your
grant.
grant rights. Can I complain about how bad things are, or I'm being taxed out of my house, or I'm not given an opportunity to do the various things that people do within
Right.
their lifetime or within their state?
Right. And then I agree with you, yeah, because you feel like if they came at Tony, they need to go with everybody else until everybody else get their money back. But hey, that's not going to happen.
Well, I think the reason she gave the money back is that she wanted to take that off the
Right.
the ledger,
Right.
so that will not be a distraction
Correct.
in the process.
Correct.
What happens is that once you do something, your opponents will always find a way to
come at you.
To resurrect it.
And no question, in this game, this is the coldest sport in the world, Chicago politics. Caller, I see you, and as you know, this is an opinionated show. And could you please state your name and voice your opinion?
Yes, it is. Mr. Secretary, first of all, I want to make a quick comment, and then I want to ask you a question. This man, Gator, I know him, and let me tell you something. Gator, again, I'm always proud of where we came from, and look at you, Gator. Look what you're doing. Look to your right. Would you ever in your lifetime would have thought about this? I mean, God has really been good with us, really been good. Okay, Mr. Secretary, I want to ask you a question. And did you get a chance to hear a little thing about when the congressman was there? A quick question. What do you think about the man that sits at the top in Washington, a so-called president? Would you ever would have thought in your lifetime you would ever in your life see something like this? You just said Pritzker going to be one of the best congressmen. Governor. I do believe that. But do you believe in your lifetime, and I'm old as you almost, that we would have had a president in office like that? Let me get out there.
Thank you very much. In my neighborhood, they say...
I'd like to hear what you're going to say. And also, I played with the Cubs. I played AAA.
Well, so did I. AA and AAA. What years did you play?
Oh, he hung up.
Okay. He raises a good question. Mm-hmm. You see, I can't call Donald Trump my president. I can call him 45 because he's not acting presidential. He's a pathological liar. And I don't think that he's working in the interest of the people, all of the people of this wonderful country of ours. Someone asked me the other day, would I seriously think about running for another position? I said, no, there are 4 jobs I don't want. Mayor of the city of Chicago, governor of the state of Illinois, superintendent of police, and the president of the United States. Those 4 jobs I don't want.
You know what? We was talking earlier how because of the services that you have provided to a lot of people, and you see through the city monuments that's named in honor of various elected officials, when it came to you and people wanted to build something in your name, you had them build it in the community of Cabrini Green.
Yes, I'm fortunate to be the coach and founder of the Jesse White Tournament team, and I've held that position for the past 59 years because I believe that when you come to this world, you get it, you give it back, but every day you must do something good for someone. That's how I run my life. And so I wanted to establish a facility where young people could come become better educated, better informed, and be able to use idle time in a positive way and stay away from gangs, drugs, and those negative aspects of life. So that facility is located at 412 West Chicago Avenue. As a matter of fact, it's so sophisticated that there are times when the teams that come in to play the Bulls, they practice there. So I believe in our youth. I want to make sure we give them an opportunity to grow tall and straight. and be put in a posture by which they can help run this great country of ours. Someone helped me along the path. I've never forgotten it. That's why I'm deeply involved with this program.
You know, you know, my tie-in with caller, I see you, and your call is very important. So I'm gonna hold my statement, and we want to hear from you. So could you please state your name and voice your opinion, caller? Caller? Okay, good. I guess they'll come back on. One of the things, Secretary, my Cabrini Green tie-in was a friend of yours, George Dunn. He was a friend of George Dunn, and that was Jerry Butler, the Cook County Commissioner.
Very good. Very good friends of mine.
Right, and I was helping Jerry run for office, and I was so happy to do this promotion. It was a promotion to me. I always dreamed of promoting a concert for Jerry Butler, and I ended up being the guy that went across the city getting petitions signed for him to win.
Well, I was raised up with Jerry Butler and Ramsey Lewis.
Right.
Two good friends of mine.
Right. They're just
Well, well, let me put it like this. They did a wonderful job in their professions.
Yes.
And not only in the musical arena, but in the case of Jerry Butler, discharging his duties in a manner which all of us could be proud of when he served on the county board.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. And just like you nurtured Walter Burnett, the Iceman had nurtured me, get that chance, you know what I mean? And I was so happy. I said, well, okay, I'm gone, and I know they ain't gonna hire an ex-felon. And Jerry was like, man, I can bring 4 people on, and you one of them. And that's how I got into working in county government and in government, and meeting the right people. They helped me get a pardon, and now I'm able to help other people.
You know what's good about a second chance? If you take advantage of it and you spread the word and you do all you can to make society a better place in which to live, it's a win-win situation for all of us.
Right. You know, and like
Walter Burnett falls into this.
Walter Burnett, I know. Hey, man, me and Walter, I never forget how I got my pardon in '90. So Walter was like, man, Gator, how do I get me a pardon? I said, Walter, the people that I had to go see because of their offices, you a part of the whole thing. You got Jesse White, you got Dunn, you got the state senator, the state rep, you know, all the guys that signed on. I said, man, and you didn't go back. I didn't go back. And I said, I had the individuals where I said, you belong to a church. I had the individuals write letters on my behalf. And that's how I got it. He did the same thing.
Well, I went to Jim Edgar on Walter's behalf.
Right.
And Jim and I established a good relationship because we both served in Illinois General Assembly together.
Right.
And I called him one day and I said, Jim, I said, this is Jesse. He said, how you doing, Jesse? I'm doing fine. He said, what's the nature of your phone call? I said, well, I have a young man by the name of Walter Burnett. At a very young age, he strayed off the beaten path. Mm-hmm. And since he has been released from a penal institution, he has gotten his act together, and he's a breath of fresh air to the young people. And I would like very much for you to consider giving him a pardon. And so he said, well, let me think about it. And I said, can you send me some information? I sent the information. And then probably about 3 weeks later, he gave me a call and said, Jess, I have good news for you. I said, what is it, Governor? He said, I've granted Walter Burnett a pardon.
Right. I got my...
And a good guy.
Right.
I mean, a wonderful guy.
Right.
With a giving and a caring spirit, alderman, church-going man, married man, and works hard for his community.
He do. I see it. I beat it so much. They thought I was a part of the 27th Ward. I just told them I'm a part of your family.
And so with all the construction that's taking place in the 27th Ward, and I live in the 27th
Right.
Ward, one of the things that he puts a lot of emphasis on is if you're going to build an apartment here, you make sure that you have some set aside for the people in the community.
Oh yeah, he do. He do that. And
And then he also makes sure that they have job opportunities for these young.
You do. You know, me and Walter was at your birthday party, and both our sons were in from school, and so my son was blessed to do an intern with Michael Sachs, and Walter's son was doing an intern for another, I think Gordon Sachs or somebody, and me and Walter looked at each other, man, while you was tumbling. Yeah, he was tumbling on Rush Street, and my son was like, "Dad, he still get down there and he gets up." But the miraculous thing about it, me and Walt looked at each other and said, "Man, look at the blessing God gave us. Look at our sons. Who would ever thought that they would be where they at now?" You know what I mean? So us seeing government change, the state, and now the city is going to be a new mayor, and the fact that whoever become mayor, I feel like the alderman going to be a little more freer because it's like a new pie that's being baked or whatever it is. You know what I mean? And this is what I want to say to our listening audience. I see you, caller. Sometimes we got to support those who end up representing us, whether we voted for them or not. If they end up representing us, we need to be able to come to them and share with them and strengthen them when they go before a body that needs their vote to get things done. Caller, I see you. No, I see the fact that you're calling. So could you please state your name and voice your opinion?
My name is Vicki.
Hey,
And my
Nikki.
question to you, Mr. Secretary, is you've been in government for a long time, and I think this is your last stint in office. What are your plans for when you leave office?
Well, I'm going to continue to work with the Jesse White Tillman team. That's been my life's work. And I'm going to get involved with programs that are designed to help young people to grow tall and straight and do those things that are going to help my community to be a better place to live. As you well know, I put a lot of emphasis upon people living in peace and harmony with one another. I try to speak about 5 different languages. If you can speak someone else's language, eat their food, learn their dance, and learn about their culture, it makes for a good relationship. And so when you have experienced segregation and discrimination like I did when I was at Alabama State University in Montgomery, Alabama, you know how badly it makes you feel, you know how deeply it cuts, you don't want to ever do that to another human being. So
Yes, sir.
I put a lot of emphasis upon leveling the playing field, giving individuals an opportunity to live a long and productive life, become gainfully employed, and yet not have to face discrimination in any shape, form, or fashion. And then, of course, I want to make sure that with our young people, that we give them an opportunity to grow tall and straight and become a positive force in society. Someone helped me to be where I am today. I've never forgotten it. That's why I believe in giving back. And I just hope that the people within the sound of my voice will understand the importance of getting behind an effort to help our young people become better educated, better informed, and making sure that they acquire love in their heart. If they don't have a love in their heart for their fellow man and woman, don't dislike their fellow man and woman because of race, creed, or color. And of course, we want them to become gainfully employed. And then not only do we want them to take on the job, but we also want them to take on the responsibility that goes with it.
You know, Secretary, the historical significance of this election. I saw how you and our good deacon brother Billy Dyson fought to help Juliana Stratton become the state rep. And now she's the first African American lieutenant governor, man.
Well, let me speak to that. We had a fellow by the name of Ken Duncan.
Right, I remember
who was
him.
one of my cherubs. and he came through our organization, and then he strayed off the reservation, so to speak,
Right.
off the beaten path, and was in bed, so to speak, with the Republicans.
Right.
And at a time when we needed every Democrat to be able to discharge the duties in the manner which all of us could be proud.
Right.
And so he received support from the Republicans, and so we decided that the next time he'd run, we would put all of our forces
I remember that.
behind the candidate. And of course, Juliana Stratton was the candidate, and we worked hard to make sure that he was defeated.
Right. Right.
And then when I look on television, I see him with the number 40, 45.
Right.
And I see him at Rounder's campaign headquarters.
Right. Right.
Licking their wounds because they were defeated by J.B. Pritzker.
Right.
Just remember, the person who brought you to the dance, that's the person you're supposed to be with.
But one thing I can say, you didn't get mad, you got busy. You know what I mean? Because you had it in your mind. I never forget the conversation that we was having. We gonna help this woman beat this man. Because ain't nowhere in the world God was gonna allow him to be in that chamber and look at you to get the impression that he beat you. You follow what I'm saying? And Juliana Stratton, she's gonna be a great lieutenant governor. She's gonna be a lieutenant governor that works. She's not gonna be a ceremonial lieutenant governor.
You see, most of the people who have become lieutenant governors, Neil Hardigan, he put a lot of emphasis on senior citizens,
Right.
and there were a few more who had other things to do
Right.
rather than just wait to see if something happens to the governor.
Right.
She's going to hit the ground running.
Yeah.
And she's going to do some wonderful things for the people of this wonderful state. And she's going to go down in history like J.B. Pritzker.
Right.
As being the best we've ever had.
Ain't no question. And I'm gonna do.
And they're not there for money.
No, they're not.
They're there for.
They're there for service, to provide the services.
That's right.
I got to wrap it up, and I want to say this to my viewing audience. I'm glad to be sitting here next to this man. It's an honor. I'm glad to be a part of this family. Tell them all, Gator's a part of my family. And one of the things we both gonna do is everything within our power to help J.B. Pritzker and Juliana Stratton become the greatest team in the state of Illinois to provide service to a lot of people. Caller, I'm going to try to get you in if I can. Could you state your name and voice your opinion? Caller?
Hello.
Yes.
Hi, Mr. Bradley. I just called in on your show to tell you something.
Is this Darlene?
Yes, sir. I'm calling to let you know how I appreciate you, and I thank you for all the great things that you're doing out here for these young brothers and sisters. I thank you.
Hey, I'm glad you called in, Darlene.
Community. You're a pillar of the community, and I'm calling in, too, because I want to get on your team. We got to get this man in.
You own the team. And after I go off, give my wife Terry your forward number. She got everything because Tony Prattwinkle wants you to come to our office.
I ain't got no problem with it. I'm ready to help.
All right. Thank you. I got to wrap it up, and as you know, I got to go. I got to end this show, but I want to end it on this tip here. Don't choke, go vote, and to God be the glory. Secretary, thank you, man.
They say in my neighborhood, you're the man.
Thank you, sir.